another convention is just attacking somebody because of his streaming content and because clearly he is on the right and because they just can't handle that. And this is exactly what happens every single time. They get emails from concerned people, and the little activist volunteers at these conventions make these decisions to try to harass everybody out of the space. Now, if none of these conventions did this, if none of them gave in to this kind of pressure, obviously they gave some coded remarks showing that they just don't like him personally, and they were just looking for an excuse to do it, then we wouldn't have a problem. And of course, people who are on the right wouldn't be controversial because we're not. We're just normal Americans. I mean, Donald Trump's the president. Most people voted for Donald Trump. This is in North Carolina, a state that Trump carried. So this is a really, really bad move, and this convention is going to take a lot of flack for this. All you have to do is just not give in to concern trolls and not give in to this sort of thing. But unfortunately, like I said, I believe there's true believers who work in these sort of groups. They love to harass people. They try to gatekeep the spaces and try to make sure that their little leftist establishment continues. So this is a topic near and dear to my heart. I was one of the first, if not the first, banned from a major convention just because of my speaking out online about what's going on in the culture. And we'll get into what I did and what happened there, as well as what's happening with Cody and what I would like for him to do in this situation in just a moment. So please hit the like and subscribe button. Join us here as we talk about all things in the culture. This is your spot. We are fighting the culture war, my friends, and we're unabashed about it. We're not scared of any of these people, and we're not going to be backing down anytime soon. We're not going to cede any of these spaces. We're going to keep going and keep pushing. I'm a science fiction writer and a comic book writer, and I have 3 free books you can get for signing up for my newsletter. It's the best deal in all of the industry right here. It's a $50 value just for signing up. And that way I can stay in touch with you because we're coming out with books and comics all the time. I've actually, because of these creeps in the industry, been banned from Kickstarter, been banned from Indiegogo, been banned from Patreon. They hit me with these nebulous hate speech and things like that every single time. And I just make good, fun content. If you like what science fiction used to be in the 80s and the 90s, what Star Trek Deep Space Nine used to be, Babylon 5 used to be, what Bane Books used to be back when those books were coming out all the time, this is the type of stuff that you will absolutely enjoy. I do comics in the vein of Chuck Dixon and sort of those like Batman family kind of style. You will absolutely love this stuff. So get here right now, guys, and support real alternatives to culture because this is how we got to build. If these people are going to try to force us out of the public square and online and, of course, in-person spaces, this is the spot we have to be. So thank you guys for signing up. Really appreciate you being there. I've also got my bookstore and my Amazon links in the description below if you want to check out and support the channel, actually buy some books. That always is helpful too. So, yes, CAMELCAST, Cody Dennison, has been banned from a convention, game, and Geek Expo. And he's a comedian and a live streamer, if you don't know who he is. He's most famous right now for doing a NASCAR driving deal where he's got TimCast, Tim Pool, sponsoring him. So clearly, oh, that's scary, Tim Pool. Oh, no. And that's exactly, of course, what he's being targeted over, right? And so he's got his own podcast, which he started in 2023. He's had a bunch of people on over the years who people love and, of course, respect in these spaces. But for comic book conventions, for the mainstream industry, you got to understand that, like, comic books and books and celebrity Hollywood culture is all filled with extreme leftist identity politics nut jobs out there. They've taken over these industries. They've gatekept it so that like only their friends and only their political allies can get into it. It's really, really sick. It's been bad for 10 plus years, and it's still going now. So these conventions are spaces where a lot of people like to set up, whatever. And here's the deal. You know that like let's look at Game and Geek Convention. Game and Geek Convention. I haven't even looked at them yet. And let's see who's there who might be like some sort of leftist agitator, because honestly, that's what happens here. Things to do. We got special guests. Let's go to special guests. Just check things out here. So we have a bunch of people I've not heard of. Okay, cool. Pro wrestler, voice actor. Okay, do we have anybody here I might have even remotely heard of? I don't know. Have you heard of any of these people on here? Cody would have been probably their biggest name so far, it looks like, from what I could tell from all this stuff. Cosplay guests, nobody knows who these people are. But okay, so I was hoping to find something here. about like somebody who's probably a leftist activist, but like again, I just don't know who any of these people are, so that's not that doesn't help. But for the most part, you see these sort of things like you'll get authors and people in the mainstream industry. You'll get Mark Wade showing up at these conventions, or Heather Antos, and get guest spots, and they say extremist things all the time. They call for people to be deplatformed. They say terrible things, and because of that, what happens? Nothing. They just get these little spots, but. Cody here has to be attacked, and this is what happened, obviously. Let's parse through their message to him, because there's a lot of corporate doublespeak in here that we have to talk about. All right, thank you again for your interest in being part of the Game and Geek Expo. We appreciate the time and effort you've put into your content and the support you've shown towards our event. After careful consideration, we've made the decision. Careful consideration, I'm sure, right? So he's supported their event. He's actually gone out there. By the way, he's advertised for it. He's got a big platform. A bunch of NASCAR guys are involved in it, have been supporting it, and people are coming to see him because of that. This is a big deal. Like I said, I don't know who any of these other guests are. I expected at least like one name I would have recognized, but zero. And Cody's like the only person I would have recognized and maybe even gone out for. So obviously they don't appreciate the time and effort and he's put into the event and the support shown towards it. Otherwise, they wouldn't be sending this message. That's a lie. SJWs always lie. After careful consideration, yeah, right, we've made the decision to move forward without your involvement at this year's show. While we truly appreciate your recent efforts, including the removal of one of the flagged videos. So I don't know what's going on here, but like there's obviously a video they didn't like that like somebody concern trolled them about that he actually removed. And this is the thing. Never, ever give an inch to any of these SJWs. Don't remove a video just because somebody's offended by it. That's ridiculous. They cannot watch it if they're offended. These people are just like serial concern trolls who are trying to harass people all the time. If you give an inch, you kind of admit that like, oh, I've done something wrong, and then that gives them the ammo to do this, because they actually are never, these conventions and all this stuff, they're not in good faith. They're not out there being like, we just want you to remove your very controversial video there. No, if you admit it's controversial and remove it, they look for something else to do, because all they're trying to do is look for a reason to remove you. These people are sick and they're liars. See, here it is. Additional content has since surfaced that raised continued concerns from our community, guests, and sponsors. Unfortunately, we've already experienced the loss of a sponsor. So somebody harassed their sponsor, because they, oh my gosh, how dare you have CAMELCAST at your show? He's a alt-right Nazi, right? And so harassed the sponsor, or the sponsor was a true believer themselves, and it's ridiculous. And several other guest participants, due to this situation, it's beginning to negatively affect overall perception. Here's the word: inclusivity of our event. Now, by the way, I'm sure no big name or anything like that mattered or cared about this, because it's ridiculous. It's going to be some small-time people, maybe some like local game shop who just wanted to harass because they are an obsessive weirdo online, because that's what tends to happen. And so they're using that as an excuse again, because they just want to do this very clearly. They've used the word inclusivity. That's how you know this person's an activist who's not being in good faith here. Next, please understand this is not a reflection on you as a creator. It totally is. You just said that it was additional content surfaced and removal of flagged videos. This is completely reflection of him as a creator, and that's all this is about, because you don't want this. Oh, this is driving me crazy. These people lie. They just gaslight. This is so painful. A necessary step to ensure we are maintaining a space that's welcoming, respectful, and positive for all attendees and partners. Yeah, right. If it was welcoming and respectful, you'd welcome and respect Cody here, guys. You'd welcome and respect his fans. You'd welcome and respect the half the country that voted for Donald Trump. And instead, you're trying to push this agenda for this like 0.5% of the population because of these LGBTQIA+, the plus is for pedophile, weirdos out there who go out there and try to harass everybody out of every single space. And you've actually given them more ammo and, of course, more gall to do it in more spaces, because you just embolden them when you do this kind of stuff. This is not respectful. It's not positive. This is about hate. This is not about inclusivity. You're excluding someone. It's quite the opposite here. I'm sorry, I get very mad about this stuff. And so this is one of those videos where I just like blow my gasket. This is like the corporate speak, the lies, the double downs, the whole like projection here of everything that's completely false that they're trying to do to this man just because he appears on Timcast or whatever pisses me off beyond belief, because this is really evil. We absolutely respect your right to creative expression and free speech. Yeah, right, you do not. In fact, you're trying to harm his free speech. You're trying to harm his free expression so that you silence him because you want to make him afraid that if he says the wrong things that he's going to continue to get this kind of treatment. And this is exactly what your frickin' Nazis did. And this is exactly how they tried to harass businesses into getting into their political movement. Otherwise, they'd not frequent them. They'd make it hard on them. And then they go, oh, yeah, it's just your free expression. Liars. Absolutely crazy. But we also have a responsibility to our broader community. Oh, please clap. These people are just completely woke nightmares, and they were looking for a reason to do this very, very clearly. So Cody responded to this: to all the people who bought tickets to come to see me at Game and Geek Festival, I've been kicked from the event. One of the vendors and photographers from the event said I'm a Nazi, and so I've been canceled from the show. Then on this, the funniest part is I had 2 guys from my NASCAR race on Friday with VIP access that worked for Expo leadership. Guess that's why I was told after the race. And then he mocks it, saying, we appreciate the fact that you had merch made specifically with a design from professionals for the con, which cost you nearly $1,000, but you're canceled. No refunds. And here's something where he might actually have some damages that he could push out here, because this is a business damages sort of situation, and he can actually go after them. And I recommend he goes after them legally, because these people need to make the rubble bounce so that they know that it's going to hurt them a lot more to do this kind of cancel culture nonsense than them actually gaining anything from it. And if he doesn't actually pursue this, because I get it, it's a small amount, but the principle's so important right here. You have to make it safe, not just for you at future conventions, CAMELCAST, if you do watch this video, but you have to make it safe for other people to do so. I actually got this same targeting in Worldcon 2018, the World Science Fiction Convention. As a science fiction writer who's very active in the scene, I had my debut novel out. I'd been working for RPG companies and game companies for a while. People knew who I was, and they canceled me. They libeled me a racist bully on their website, and of course banned me from their convention, all because I posted a picture with a Donald Trump hat, a MAGA hat, in 2016, and they flipped out. These people, the people who were running it, were the main guy in charge is this radical homosexual with like a weird pink mohawk who just wanted to exert his political power, and so I sued the heck out of them. It was libel, and I won. And it took years to fight, because these things do take years to fight, especially when you get a true believer there. They might back down in this Carolinas convention here, because they might not be as true believers as this guy, but this guy really just wanted to make his political point, wanted to make it hurt, and he cared more about that. They ended up spending close to $150,000 just blowing it just because they hated me so much. And it just goes to show these are the actual bigots out there more than anything else. I just wanted to go to a convention as a sci-fi writer. It's ridiculous. And so this is the same sort of situation. And now, since you've had merch made and the like for it, you do have damages that you can go out there and get them with. If they don't cover this, you should demand that they cover this cost for you right now, and they should do it, and issue an apology for that, and you should broadcast that everywhere to make it hurt for them and make the rubble bounce. Otherwise, sue them. You got to do it. This is so important. Again, I know it's not very much, and it's not like life-changing money or anything like that, but it has to be done. Because this is the only way these people will ever get the hint that they can't behave this way. So Carolina Games Summit was tagged in this, and I guess they're a whole group involved somehow. They said, fellow NASCAR fans, please understand we, CG Summit, had zero to do with any decisions related to CAMELCAST attending the event. We were not told by Cody that he was under contract to attend. Please do help events by leasing equipment to them. We do help that in providing staff professionally to run esports tournaments for amateur players across the Southeast. We promote all events who hire us within our websites and social media. We believe any frustration should be directed at the actual event managers, Raleigh Retro, who run and own the event referenced by Cody's original post. So they're like, hey, we didn't do anything with this. Now, Raleigh Retro has not made a post on X since August of last year. So very clearly, again, these are not just people who are just getting concern troll emails or like that. I believe they're true believers, because if they quit X at that point, before their event actually, and all this, that's when Elon Musk was announcing his support of Donald Trump. And, of course, that's when they flounced. All the leftists flounced to Blue Sky and the like. This is exactly one of those groups right here. So this is coordinated. This is completely political in nature. It's very, very important to note this and note who these people are. And, yes, I hope Cody just really goes after them because it's a big deal right here. All right, leave a comment down below with what you think about this. Please hit the like and subscribe button if you want to support some unapproved science fiction. This is the stuff. It's just a lot of fun. There's, I don't know. I mean, it's ridiculous. I mean, I really think they understand that I've got more talent than a lot of their mainstream writers out there. As they try to hold it down, they try to gatekeep. That's what they do. You can get on my newsletter and get 3 free books. Stay in touch with me. Very, very important, guys. I like to respond to folk who email me back. Of course, I love interacting with folk here. And start reading today. Like, we're going to read and we're going to win, and that's exactly how we're going to build a movement that's better and smarter than the opposition here, and that's what we're trying to do. Thanks so much, and of course, check out my books on Amazon as well. We'll be back soon.